Hey friends, Mario Cavallo here. I have named this video S cubed. Standmounts, Soundstage, and Scale. The three S's. We're going to have a great time. I'm going to move to some beautiful photos of the three pairs of speakers that we are going to be featuring in this video. And as you can tell from what I've already said, it's all about stand mount speakers that are able to deliver big scale, uncompressed dynamics, huge soundstage. What a cool thing. And it serves very, very well to help us all understand a bit more clearly about what it is about speakers that we like or don't like. Very interesting. Let's get started. When it comes to the ability to talk about stand mount speakers that can throw a big soundstage, a huge space, uncompressed dynamics, big scale, we're talking about today three very different speakers, and in the case of one, an extremely different price point as well. My favorite, the JBL 530s. They're big, they're bold, and when you look at them, yeah, they're small. It's amazing. And there's some particular reasons why that's the case, right? Number two, Revel Concerto 2 M16s. Wow, I got to listen to them while I was in Beijing. I'll tell you more about that a couple weeks ago. And subsequently, and I'll share with you a couple of reviews, and that's what the Revel Concerto 2 M16s do. Man, they throw a big soundstage. And number three, I've put these in there as the flagship benchmark comparison. The $9,000 Sonus Faber, and they're brand new, Electa Amator 3, version 3. Man, they are just this little compact stand mount thing. They're legendary, and in the third generation version, and wow, they do dynamics and scale. Now, in addition to being able to deliver big scale, big bold sound, big sound stage, like that, okay, what are the other qualities that these speakers produce? Excellent clarity, imaging, okay, precision, big soundstage, but instruments clearly well defined and precise, clear mids, clear highs, no harshness or honkiness or weirdness. None of these speakers produce any bad kind of annoying sounds. They are all amazingly clean, okay, and pure, and have thrilling mids, thrilling highs, okay, and to some degree, each a little different, they all also have a touch of warmth. None of the three speakers that I've chosen are clinical for the digital age, are they? Okay, they're not. They definitely, to different degrees and different ways, have more of a warmth, a bit of a warmth to that big, important mid vocal presence and instrument presence range. Okay, so that's where we're going with this conversation. Very, very important characteristics to think about when we are choosing our speakers. What do we want? What price range? Oh, one more characteristic I want to mention, and then I'm going to introduce the speakers, each a couple minutes each, and then the reference recordings that I have been using to listen to them all. Depth of soundstage. I mentioned height and separation and clarity, imaging. What I didn't also mention, and it's there with all of these speakers, and that's the depth. I can hear that not only is the trumpet there, but that the horn section is not just to the left when I'm listening to Blood, Sweat, and Tears, great 70s music, right? Incredible. And I'm hearing the horn section, and the horn section is not equally there with the trumpet player over here. You can clearly understand that there's depth. The horn section is back there, and the trumpet player is up here and to the right. You can hear and definitely notice the depth, including depth to the front and to the rear. So this is another very important characteristic. Okay, introducing each speaker. I'm going to take about 2-3 minutes for each one, and we compare. Number one, the JBL 530 is so interesting because it's the only one that's a 5 1/4 inch two-way. Everybody is amazed because it seems to put out as much bass down into the mid 40s as a 6.5. Okay, and it does, provided you put plenty of juice behind it. Every one of these speakers, the characteristics between the JBL 530 and the Revel Concerta M16 are very similar. They are both speakers. By the way, JBL Harman happens to also own the Revel brand, so that's interesting. They're all in the same family. Both of these speakers put out a big soundstage. Wow, isn't that interesting? However, and both of these speakers are inefficient. They're like 86 dB, and man, I wouldn't recommend 100 strong watts a channel into 4 ohms. I've got a client who bought a pair of JBL 530s from me. He's extremely happy driving them. He bought a Sprout 100, which drives 100 watts into 4 ohms, and that's a very high quality integrated amp from PS Audio. That would be like the minimum that I would recommend. I've currently got mine plugged into a 10-year-old but top of the line Denon AVR 4308 receiver into 2 channels. That is Denon. Hey, it's a Denon top of the line. Come on, it's at the moment I'm using that, and it's a great piece. Come on, I'm not saying it's, audiophile like Macintosh, but come on, it's a great piece. And into 2 channels, that baby puts out 170 watts per channel. Okay, and the JBLs need a lot of juice, and the Revels need a lot of juice, and you can bet your ass that the Sonus Fabers, any Sonus Faber, whether it's the Electa Amator 3 or the Guarneri, the other small one, need a lot of juice. Okay, no matter what. Come on, man. So I would say something similar to the Sprout 100 as an absolute minimum. I tried driving the JBL 530s last month with my good Magnat hybrid tube amplifier. Tube on the front end, 50 watts a channel on the back end. Clean, great, nice, wonderful. Cranked the volume all the way up, and the amp was out of juice. And the speakers still had plenty to go. So you need plenty of power in watts to be able to get the sound out of the JBL 530s. What's so special about the JBL 530s is that compression driver. It's all about the design with the biradial horn that controls the sound. You got to understand this wonderfulness of the JBL driver. And then the compression driver. And then there's the Concerta 2 M16 by Revel. You've got some horn loading there. Not horn, but you've got that tweeter, very clear design to help with the dispersion of the tweeter, and just super high quality coming out of that Revel. Interestingly, both of these 2 speakers are in that same price range. Now, how interesting. The JBL is originally retail priced at $1,200 a pair, and the Revel is priced at $900 a pair. So they're in that $1,000 category. Okay. Now, what's happening with the JBL 530 is kind of weird and annoying, but it is what it is. JBL currently has lowered their pricing in the American market only. They're at $599, $600 a pair, but they're only available in the fugly black. So I don't know what's going on with JBL. I don't like that they're selling these cheap. They're much better than a Klipsch RP600 or an RP150. Much more refined, and we know they are. So they shouldn't be in the same price range. They're more speaker than the ELAC Unit 5, right? That's a nice refined speaker as well. I'm not saying it's not a nice speaker for $500 a pair, but the JBL 530 is definitely more than that speaker. And the other one recently I saw the PS Audio Alpha. Yeah, again, nice speaker, but it doesn't have that big, bold soundstage. It's just not capable, which brings me to the $1,200 KEF LS50. Again, we hear it over and over again. Yeah, man, precise, even a bit warm, but it's not a big, bold soundstage, huge scale speaker. It's a near field speaker. Okay, it sounds best near field. It's designed that way. It sounds small. Speakers intentionally sound. They're designed and built that way. So terrific if you love it, right? Understand the different characteristic that speakers deliver. I would say that the JBL 530 and the Revel are similar. They're definitely different, but they're same quality-wise. You can't say, oh, that one is so much better. No, it's not. Neither is so much better. It's just different personality. They're both equally amazingly good in the $1,000 price category range. Again, so if you can get the black ones, if you can tolerate the black ones for $600 a pair, man, they're a much better choice than anything else out there. And I've got them in cherrywood, which is rare, and my price is even good, about $20, a 20% discount off of the $1,200, like $960 a pair, plus shipping, and I'll ship them to you in cherrywood. And in cherrywood, they look like they belong in a museum. They're freaking magnificent. Okay, so these are $1,000 stand mounts that can produce big, beautiful scale. Okay. All right, and with precision and accuracy, no harshness, no weird crap, which you don't want to hear because you get listener fatigue, right? Okay, I'm done with those two. And now we go to the standard bearer, right? The standard bearer is the Electa Amator 3. You could also say the Guarneri by the Sonus Faber, right? Come on, folks. Is it even more clean and refined than the other two? Of course it is. Sound-wise, of course it is. Okay, it's $9,000. It frickin' better be, right? So you're getting with the Sonus Faber Electa Amator 3 the ultimate speaker. You read the reviews. I'm gonna take you through a photo show in a bit for about 2-3 minutes, and you'll be able to reference it. And the reviews are that's what they say. It's just unbelievable. And this is what I experienced with the Electa Amator 3s, okay? That they're small, but you just kind of go, whoa, you don't know. You close your eyes, and the scale of what they're producing out is enormous. And in the case of the Electa Amator 3s, hey, come on, what's going to happen with the JBL 530 when you crank it up? Come on, it's gonna fail. It's not capable of getting that loud. It's a 5 1/4 inch, and it's going to reach its limit, and that does happen. So it has its natural limits for sure. Okay, but man, not so with that Electa Amator 3. Holy guacamole, man! You can just crank the scale with hundreds of watts of channel behind each speaker, and wow, what it's capable of doing is just incredible level of dynamics. And again, for $9,000, it better. In addition, you must understand that in that $9,000 price, I mean, how much are we going to put for pricing to the craftsmanship? That speaker has a Carrera marble base, handmade walnut cabinet that, I don't know, it's probably about that thick, right? I'm exaggerating. It's incredible. It's incredible furniture quality, 6-star furniture quality, craftsmanship in addition. Leather, the leather finish. I mean, everything about it is superb craftsmanship, and you're certainly paying several $1,000s for that as well. And if you can afford it, good for you. I've mentioned twice that I'm going to do a photo and testimonial slideshow showing you the products, the 3 speakers, and first also introduce to you the reference recordings that I was using as I was listening to the speakers and to do this particular video. First is Telarc. Yeah, man, Telarc. This is a DSD disc, and we're talking Tchaikovsky 1812 Capriccio Italian. Yeah, man, just incredible. Big sound dynamics. And now we move to vinyl, which we need to move to vinyl. Okay, you all do understand that 60s, 70s, and 80s vinyl, pure analog, all the way, is what it's all about. Like, who cares about anything else? I mean, it's like, what, it's on digital and then you're going to put it on vinyl? Why would you buy that? Okay, so this is the 60s vinyl, some of the 60s vinyl that I have, and this is Enoch Light Command Classics. Man, just the quality of this vinyl is incredible. And 1963, this is a sampler of their classics, Tchaikovsky and Brahms and Beethoven and Mussorgsky, Ravel's pictures at an exhibition. I mean, just amazing, and yeah, big orchestral sound. Onward to the jazz. Huge brass jazz, yeah baby, with Maynard Ferguson MF Horn 2, and in particular, listen to on this album, or find it on your streamer, Country Road, believe it or not. It's such a great tune. He does a pretty cool take on Spinning Wheel and the theme from Shaft as well, but the composition of Country Road on this is just incredible. You're really going to love it. And onward to the rock with a touch of jazz and horn fusion. And we've got Blood, Sweat, and Tears and Chicago. Amazing music. What can I say? I mean, I'm going to begin with Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Don't even make me just start naming the tunes. I'm not going to do it. This is 1972, 73 vinyl. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Absolutely amazing. And placement of sound and instruments and horns, just so wonderful. Such a joy to listen to. And Chicago, in this case, 1973. I don't remember which this is Chicago number, but I'm going to invite you to listen on side 2. Song number 2, Hollywood, and song number 4, Rediscovery, which has got this driving bass line that is amazing. And the quality of what Chicago did in a number of their albums is just fantastic. And here's a slideshow of our 3 featured speakers today that are Standmounts, putting out big soundstage and scale. Thanks very much, everybody. The JBL 530 in cherrywood, magnificent and rare, here in China, full price, and for a reason. The Chinese worship and revere JBL as they should, and that compression driver is the reason it's in there. Very expensive systems, the Everest, the Project Array, etc. And you can see by this testimonial, a gentleman who compared them to just about everything out there and simply loves them. There's a lot to love about the JBL 530s. And so you've got that opportunity. This is my system with custom furniture. That's a custom old elm table and custom imported Turkish quartz stone, custom cut pedestals and speaker stands from a mountain slab. We can order those for you, and they're beautiful. And finally, again, I mentioned it because if you're in the United States and if you can tolerate fugly black, okay, grab them for $5.99. Nothing comes close. The Revel concertas are gorgeous. There they are. Clarity, huge sound from a small size. Everyone says it, including Absolute Sound. These are class leading at $900 a pair. For discerning audiophiles, they roll out a huge soundstage. Everybody keeps saying the same thing over and over again with the accuracy and clarity, but the benchmark, nothing like the Sonus Faber Electa Amator 3. And here you're buying, Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo craftsmanship, in addition to amazing sonics. Certainly a level of refinement that is a cut above the other two, and as well it should be. My thanks to our Beijing high-end audio shop partner that reps Sonus Faber. We can get them for you as well. We've got a great relationship with the Sonus Faber dealer in Beijing. The Electa Amators are amazing, and for a lifetime. That's it. Enjoy, folks. Bye-bye.